What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about EPGP, otherwise effort points and gear points. So this is the loot system that Immured Mantics uses in Raid. In my opinion, it's one of the best, if not the best, loot system out there. First things first, what you'll need to do is go to Curse, and in the search bar you could just search EPGP, pull it up right there. And it's going to be your first two right here, EPGP Loot Master and EPGP DKP Reloaded. The reason why I say get both of those is because for some reason in the past we've had, where people can't see their EP, they've downloaded DKP Reloaded. They're not the Loot Master, so why should they get the Loot Master one? Well, I found out that people downloading the EPGP Loot Master along with the EPGP DKP Reloaded, the first two up here, it seems to fix that problem. And as you can see, pretty much 3,878,000, 3,413,000. I mean, that's fairly close. So you could already tell whoever's downloaded the Loot Master has already downloaded the DKP Reloaded. So go ahead and go to Curse, get those add-ons, and you will be good to go. Let's get back here in the game and I'll show you pretty much what you could do when you first download them. And of course, if you've already downloaded them, you probably already know, but I will show you anyway. So you could go ahead and backslash EPGP. It'll pull up your EPGP window where you can see everyone's effort points that they've gained, everyone's gear points that they've received, and that'll give you a priority rating on the gear drops. So, let's say get him here. He has 6,254 effort points. He's got a piece of gear, so he's received technically 630 points for that piece of gear, although his gear points say 631. It's because the default will always give you one gear point. Just remember that. And now he has a priority rating based off of that of a 9.911. And all that does is take your effort points, divide by your gear points, and it gives you your priority rating. So when something drops in Raid, for instance, and Get 'em needs that piece, and say, so does Piece of Candy here. Well, Piece of Candy hasn't received a piece of loot, so her effort points are 6,229, even though her effort points, or his effort points, is higher than 6,254. I'm sorry, is lower than 6,254. He or she hasn't got a piece of gear, so their priority rating is at 6,229, whereas Get'em's priority rating is at 9.911. Now when that piece of gear drops, of course, it would go to the higher priority rating, which would be Piece of Candy in this circumstance. And let me show you how that works in game. Of course, those of you that already have it are familiar how it works, but for those that don't have it yet, have not downloaded the add-on, which we do have a few guys that still need to download the add-on, which is the purpose of this video, is to show you how it works and how I'm going to utilize this system, and what are you going to get, how are you going to accumulate effort points, and how gear points work. So when a piece of gear drops in Raid, you'll have a pop-up window. It'll look like this. Get rid of those. It'll look like this, and I've already set these up to where you have these selections. You have best in slot, main spec, minor upgrade, off spec, warforged gem, and pass. And you got 60 seconds to make your selection. Plenty of time to make your selection. So I'm going to go ahead for this piece. Of course, it's my helm. It is my best in slot, and so I'm going to hit best in slot. This window here will only pop up for those that have assist. So your tanks, if they have assist, they'll see this window. Any of your officers or anyone with a role that needs assist is going to go ahead and see this window. So this window pops up right here. It'll say, okay, Italian Saint has selected best in slot for this item, which is my best in slot. It automatically does a roll. I could see their priority rating. Of course, this is just a test, so you're really not going to see I'm going to see more people and their selections. So say another paladin in the raid hit best in slot for this piece. Well, the first thing I would do is go to his priority rating. What is his priority rating? Because if the other paladin let's just say for instance he's tied with me. He also has 6,254 as a priority rating. Well, what do you do then? Well, you just go right here to the roll. Instead of rolling in raid, the system already rolls for you. So I rolled let's say this bottom guy is the other paladin. I rolled a 54, he rolled a 36. Congratulations me, I get that piece of gear. Also, you could see their current equipment on. So if somebody had selected main spec, and I could go over here and I could see what they have on, I could make my own judgment. But that system really has to the encounter where you would have that is quite minimal. You'd have to have somebody with the same priority rating, and I would have to go to the rolls, and I would, okay, well, this piece is kind of better for this class, even though, yeah, you guys have the same amount of PR. This guy rolled higher than you, but, really it's not that good for you as much it is for the other guy. So, that situation might happen, but it's not going to happen very often. More particularly, you might have some guy that rolls main spec on a piece that has a higher priority rating than the other guy, and the guy with a lower priority rating, that piece is actually better for his class. And that's just communication. That's saying, you either give the points to the guy that it's not that good for. You go ahead and say, okay, we'll go ahead and give you the gear points for that item, even though it is better for this guy. Or, you could look at that item over there and say, hey, I know you're rolling on this piece. You want the points for it. I'll give you the points if you really want it, but really it's better for the mage. You know what I mean? So it's situational based. Let's just put it that way. Of course, you got your gear point value. We do use default gear point value. So for this helm, it's 1414. On all pieces, we use gear point value. And let me go ahead and go back to that test window. Pop this sucker up real quick. So you have all these selections. I did add a Warforged and gem. So if there's a piece, like say you have a piece, and the only difference between your piece and this piece is that the new piece that dropped is Warforged and or gemmed. So that is when you would hit that button right there. And that is telling me that you are only rolling for that piece because it's Warforged or gem. And the reason why I have that in there is because if something like this piece costs 1414 gear points, well, in my opinion, why would you pay 1414 for that piece just because it's Warforged or gem? We've had this problem in the past where people are not wanting to receive the points because it's Warforged or gem, but hey, it's an upgrade for them, so why would you not want to select that item? Why would you not want it because it's Warforged gem? Why? Because they don't want to take the points for it. I mean, that's the bottom line. They don't want to take 14 points because it's not worth it, and I don't blame them. I have done that in the past. My heroic weapon right here had a gem, and I took 2,720 points because it had a gem. It was a stupid mistake. I regretted doing it because that dropped my PR way low. Also, if I could do this in 41 seconds here, you have a note over here. And you could add, let's say, hey, Loot Master, you have been fucking me on loot. I want this. By the way, go eat a dick. Not a disc, a dick. I could save, and let's just main spec it. So when this comes through, I could see, okay, he main spec that piece. Oh, he's got a note in there. What's it say? Hey Loot Master, you have been fucking me on loot. I want this. By the way, go eat a dick. Well, go ahead and do that, and you probably won't get the loot. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm just kidding. The loot goes where it's best suited and or priority rating. So just keep that in mind. And again, /EPGP, and boom. You could see everyone's effort points. You could see all their gear points, and you could see the priority rating in which they have. So I pretty much look at this multiple times during the raid, just to see, kind of where I'm standing at. But really, we've just started issuing out gear points. We were running effort points there for a couple weeks without doing any gear. We were just rolling on gear. But now we're going to go ahead and gear point it. And so everyone's priority rating, you can see a lot of them are the same, but here in the coming weeks, you're going to see a lot of priority ratings fluctuating. You won't see so many people with the same priority rating. So, and how do I issue out effort points? It depends. I got an on-time effort points. I got reoccurring 250 effort points. And Emo said, "Be right back." Okay. I have an on-time, like I said, an on-time effort points you could get if you're on time. That we rate at 7:30. Once that 7:31 hits, boom, on time effort points. If you log in 7:32, you don't get the on-time effort points. On-time effort points are on-time effort points. That's what they're there for. You should be on time. Those that are on time, they get it, and it's not a lot. 50 points. But then again, 50 points, 50 effort points might bring you above the guy that you're competing with when it comes to gear and priority rating. Bottom line, I want points wherever they come. So if that means I get 50 points by being on time, well, guess what? I'm going to be on time. Personal stuff happens. We have a reoccurring of 250 points per raid, 3-hour raid. So, say you got to leave an hour early. That sucks. But your points will stop reoccurring at that point. You left an hour early. It's not fair for somebody who's been there 3 hours to get the same amount of points that for somebody who was there for 2 hours. It's not going to happen. That's why they call it effort points. You're obviously not putting in the effort 2 hours into raid and you have to go. It really could be for anything. Maybe you have excessive diarrhea and you can't stop shitting yourself. Well, I'm sorry, bud, but your effort points are now, they're not reoccurring anymore because you're on the shitter. So yeah. That's about it when it comes to EPGP. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Post your questions in the comments below or on the forums. I will be posting this to immuredmantics.com. And just ask any questions that you have that I didn't cover. I'm sure it's a pretty easy and a fair-based system. Pretty much all you have to do is show up on time for raid, and that's it. You get effort points. Your effort points are divided by your gear points. And the more you get gear, the lower your priority rating gets. So if you have somebody who's made it to every raid versus another person that's made it to every raid, but this person has accumulated more gear than you have, well then your priority rating will be higher than his, so the next piece that drops will be yours, almost guaranteed. It will be guaranteed. I shouldn't say almost, it will be guaranteed. The only thing that would stop that from happening is obviously your rank. I didn't discuss that, but rank has a little bit to do with it as well. If you have a trial come in and he's coming in, and of course his priority rating, and this would occur, of course, let me pull this back up. A trial comes in and say, we're doing gear points, so everyone's not really stacked up on priority rating. They got some gear, so the effort points are divided by the gear points. Now, we'll give you your priority rating, so you won't have such high numbers here in the priority rating. But a trial comes in with a 0-0, and he comes in and 2 hours into raid. So 2 hours into raid, he's got about 2,000 something effort points, right? Well, he's going to have a priority rating of 2,000 some points. And these guys all right here that have high points, I mean, they won't have that many points later on once they start getting gear. Like I said, we just started gear points, so you know they're going to start looking like these guys, 9, 9, 3, 8. You know what I mean? So you have a trial that came in. He's trialing for the raid, and he's been in there for 2 hours. A piece of gear drops for him. He's got a priority rating 2,000 something, and he's versus Get Him here, and Get Him's at 9.9. Well, of course, 2,000 something priority rating is higher than 9.9, but, and I say but because it's a big but, the guy's a trial. You know, he is coming in trialing for the raid, and so that's where I think that EPGP, if you're running EPGP, you got to incorporate a rank. So if Get Him here, he is a core raider, and a piece of loot drops, well, he should get that piece of loot versus a new guy coming in. Because the problem you'll find is if you're going to do it that way, where you're going to give that trial that piece of gear, what's to say he's not going to come in, get geared up, because you know he's got all these effort points like stacked up, and he's just not going to dip out after he gets geared. It's happened in the past. It will always happen. So to alleviate that, you go ahead and in place a rank value of gear as well, because no one likes that. It always happens. It will continue to always happen. But to alleviate it, you go ahead and say, okay, you're a trial. He's a core raider. You're not getting this piece of gear. I mean, of course, if he's the only one rolling on it, yeah, he's gonna get it. But if he's against a core raider when it comes to that loot, he will not get it, no matter what the priority rating is. And of course, the core raider will receive the gear points for it, so his priority rating will go down, but that trial will not get it. And you know, and that trial will see that. I mean, he's not going to be long on trial. It's not like, you know, oh my God, he's got to be trial for a month. And no, that's not the case. He won't have to be trial for a month. That's just kind of ridiculous. You know, if you trial somebody and they're not good, well, then they're not making it back to the next raid. You know, and if they are good, well, then they're not going to be trial for very long now, are they? I mean, you're talking about the next week, bringing him up on the level of everyone else. You know, maybe it'd be the next week, or maybe the week after. Maybe you want to see a little bit more from him. Maybe you want to see another week out of him, another 2 days of rating. Well, you know, take a look at those next 2 days and make your judgment then. But it doesn't take long for somebody from a trial to a core raider, so it's not like that guy's missing out on loot. Plus, hell, he might be the only one that needs that piece of loot. So, therefore, he'll get it because no one else needs it. Wouldn't screw him out of a piece when no one needs it, right? Anyway, leave your questions down below in the comments. Any concerns you have. And like I said, this will be on the forum post. You could also ask the questions in the forum post, and I will get with you as soon as possible, or I'll just reply, most likely, back on to the forum post. All right, this is Saint, and I'm out of here. Peace.